All right, guys, we got a wonderful example here of female nature. Females trying to cheat the system, females trying to figure out what men want and then also kind of combine that with what they want. And I give this woman maybe 10%, 15% credit, something like that, because I think a little bit her heart is somewhat in the right place, sort of, but not really when I break it down. It's going to be solipsism. So she's talking about struggling men are the prize, just to kind of give you a point of reference to what she's talking about and what I'm going to talk about. So let's listen to what she says. I'm gonna let it play one time through fully, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna stop it and break down all that she's talking about.
Women neglect the beauty of dating a struggling man, but that's where the foundation of trust is built. The loyalty, the commitment, because he's not trying to win you over with any money, because he doesn't have it. He's going to win you over with effort, consistency, and that comes with respect. See, you only value and respect something that you had to work hard to get. He understands the sweat, the long days, the living paycheck to paycheck, the goal setting, working overtime just to take you somewhere nice, etc. That's where 90% of the time the guy with wealth falls short. He has no respect for you. He didn't put in any effort with you. He didn't have to work to build a foundation with you. He simply bought you. To him, you're just another prize on the shelf, something to pull out when he wants to play with it and throw back when he's done. That's what most wealthy men do. They buy things because they can, not because they need it. Hell, sometimes not even because they want it, just because they can. They're more intrigued with the fact that they can buy you instead of actually being intrigued with you. To him, you come at a monetary cost, and he can buy 1,000 more of you because you come a dime a dozen. You're nothing special. But with the struggling man, your love was bought with authenticity and genuineness that was built on solid ground, and that's the beauty within the struggle. So until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Women neglect the beauty of dating a struggling man, but that's where the foundation of trust is built. The loyalty, the commitment.
Okay, so in this first part, you can see it on her face, the fear of, if you kind of, I wouldn't necessarily recommend to try to do this all the time, but sometimes you can pick up on people's body language, particularly if you have a knowledge of that person, or you have a knowledge of, like, in this case, she's a female. So I've been studying the red pill. I know all about female nature. It's, what I do on my channel all the time. So I know what motivates a female, and what motivates a female is survival and fear, right? Fear of choosing the wrong guy, fear of a guy not being able to take care of her, fear of a guy not being able to give her the lifestyle that she wants, fear of a guy who won't be able to raise kids. Most women, pretty much all women, want kids. That's a major, major factor in hypergamy. It's a major, major factor in mate selection process from the female standpoint. They want a guy who is not going to let them down financially, because they do not want to struggle. It's one of women's biggest fears. And it's all, it's in human nature. Nobody wants to struggle. So women will say things like that, and like, oh, well, why choose a broke man when you can choose a rich man? And they totally gloss over the fact that, because love should be respected, and love should be real, and love is not something you can put a financial financial amount on. And that's what she's doing here. She's just doing it in her own little way, and she's trying to, and the reason why I said at first I'd give her 10 to 15% credit is because at least she's somewhat hitting on, like, oh, it's more genuine. He's not trying to buy you. You're not a which I talk about on my channel all the time, that women are bought by men, and it's true. And at the end of the day, she's still talking about that. She's still talking about success. She's still talking about a man being successful to please her. That's what she's still talking about. She's got all her fake makeup on, and she's got her eyelashes drawn on, and all this crap. She's a product, right? She's still a product. And she's not outside of the matrix. Any men that she dates are not outside of the matrix. That's still what dating is boiled down to. It's product. It's product and marketing. right? She's marketing herself as the prize. She is still solipsistic. She still believes that she's the prize. And so, you know, like I said a second ago, if you watch her face at the beginning of this video, you can see it, the fear that, well, yes, we're struggling. And what does struggling mean, though? Struggling means that there's a chance you might not be successful. And this is what women do not want. So she's actually taking a risk here and saying this, because I guarantee that if she goes out and dates 4 or 5 guys who she's struggling with, and all 4 or 5 of those guys in succession don't succeed and aren't financially able to meet her needs, she will dump those guys. She will discard those guys like a crab with a clamshell, or a crab on a beach that has a shell, and then it discards that shell and goes into the other shell. I don't know if you've ever seen that, these nature shows, right? This is what women do. They're with a guy, and then if the guy is not the kind of guy they want, or like, or he doesn't make enough money, or he's too weak, or they find another better guy, they monkey branch onto somebody else. They just discard the man like he's nothing. This is female nature. This is why really men shouldn't date. This is why just pump and dump. And it's like, I shouldn't even say that. That's not a righteous thing to say, because you shouldn't just be immoral. But what other choice do we have? You know what I mean? Like, this is female nature. So she's still talking about herself. She's still being solipsistic. And I guarantee, so she's talking about best case scenario. She's fantasizing that, oh, he's struggling and it's real because he didn't buy you and woo woo woo. But in reality, if he's not successful, I don't care how much he's struggling. If he's not successful at the end of the struggle, that's, so she's really just fantasizing. Women want a man who's successful, and so if he's not successful at the end of the struggle, that's a big fear for her, and you can see it in her face, and she will discard the man and jump onto somebody else. And what she's mad about, what women are mad about in that case and scenario, is the wasted time. They know that they've got a limited amount of sexual timing, sexual appeal. They know they've got a limited amount of time to have kids. They're on a timetable. This is part and parcel of why hypergamy is so strong in women, is they're on a timetable, and biologically, subconsciously, whatever, they know that. They know they're on a timetable. This is why what women hate the most is wasting their own time. And an unsuccessful man is a waste of time for women. Right? So she can talk all this nice stuff about, oh yeah, you're struggling with him and then it's real. But if he's not successful, she's not going to stick around for the struggle. She's not going to be like, oh, you're my man. And whether you're rich or poor, or for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, good health and bad health. No, there's conditions to her love. And this is modern women. Now, was it always like this? I don't know, man. I think it was probably 100, 200 years ago, it was probably common for most people to fail. It probably wasn't even a thing, but now it's like a lot of men are very successful. And so now it's just they have this burden of choice. Women's biggest burden is the burden of choice. Back 200 years ago, when people were lucky to have a cow, to milk and to, plow their land, like, it wasn't the same type of thing. Hypergamy wasn't, women weren't able to exercise their hypergamy. I believe it was still in them. I believe it was still in their nature. They just didn't have opportunities to exercise it. Now they do. Now they've got extreme opportunities to exercise it. So this is why we have what we have. This is why the red pill is the way it is. So let's go on. But like I said, you can see in her face the fear. The fear, the subconscious fear of the thought of, well, I'm with this struggling man, and if he doesn't succeed, I've wasted my time. I've put myself in a precarious position. This is why women sit around and wait at the finish line, because that's almost a guarantee, even though it's not a guarantee. Even though the truth is that you screw yourself, and this is probably why she's saying what she's saying, because women are figuring out that, oh, we're screwing ourselves by going for these high value men, we're screwing ourselves by going for the guys who are already successful, because they're not actually treating us right. And why should they? Because they have the choice. They have the pick of the litter. They've got the choice. The high earning, rich, successful men that all these women want are just sleeping with them, pumping and dumping, because That's because probably these guys they're smart enough. If they're rich, they're smart enough to figure out female nature and like, oh, you didn't like me before I had money. Now that I have money, you like me, and all of a sudden you're gonna sleep with me. Well, I don't respect you because you weren't with me during the struggle. So I'm just gonna sleep you and pump and dump and discard you. Just like women are discarding men who are broke or who are not successful. You see how that game works? And women they haven't figured this out, that it's like, it's your fault. It's your fault men are using you because of your materialistic, solipsistic, plastic, vapid nature that only loves a man who's successful. Men are genuine. We know. I mean, I'm not saying there's no narcissists or liars or fakers out there, but there, who are men, there are. But majority wise, it's the women who are the ones who are phony and faking and who are only picking rich guys. Guys don't have those materialistic standards on women. Guys aren't putting this materialistic standard that, oh, a woman has to be rich and she has to be successful and well off in order for me to date her. No, that's a female thing. So guys are figuring that out, and they're like, I don't want no parts of that. Oh, you only love me if I'm successful. When I was broke, you didn't have the time of day, but now that I'm driving a Mercedes Benz or a Rolls Royce or whatever, and I got the house on the lake, and I'm balling, and I got my $100,000 watch, and I got all this money. Now you want me. Okay, yeah, I'm going to settle down with you. Fat chance. No, I'm going to pump and I'm going to dump. I'm going to sleep with you and I'm going to leave you because that's all you're worth. You don't deserve me because you weren't with me struggling. So she's figuring that out. Women are starting to figure that out. And they're like, okay, well, and women will do this too. Women will date potential. Women will invest in a man based on potential. I've seen it happen. Women have done it to me before. If they notice that you're intelligent, or they notice that you have some kind of talent, women can sniff that out. They can sniff out a guy who's got latent talent. Women are wonderful investigators that, and you could call it the female, what's it called? Female intuition or whatever. They can sense if you're a loser, if you're a winner, if you're getting laid. This is why, like, a lot of times when guys start getting laid or guys have a girlfriend, they'll start attracting more women, which is an odd phenomenon. It's like, why is that happening? Because they can sniff it out on you. They can sniff it out that, oh, this guy's getting laid, this guy's successful, and then they want a piece of that. This is why a lot of women are basically home wreckers, because there's something in their nature. It's called pre-selection. There's something in their nature that is attracted to a guy who was pre-selected already by other females. Oh, he's a winner. I want him. I'm going to go after him. It's pre-selection, right? It's just this insidious kind of evil part of their nature, and it's real. So it's like, why are women always called home wreckers? Because they're sniffing out successful guys. What is a successful guy? It's a guy who's married. Because you can't be married if you're not successful. It doesn't work that way. That's not how female nature works. In rare cases, there are exceptions to the norm, and I always have to mention this because people get on me and say, "Oh, you're putting all women in one category." Well, it's true. Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. Stereotypes are stereotypes because they're true. So anyway, this is female nature. This is how pre-selection works, and this is how hypergamy works. It's just you can't fake your nature. So what she's trying to do is come around and like, adjust and like, oh, wouldn't it be romantic if we we're sticking together, and we have such a bond, and like, I think I remember like some J-Lo songs back in, Jennifer Lopez songs back in the day, and I think this is why people like Jennifer Lopez back in the 90s, because she used to make songs like, oh, I'm with you, and like I'm down with you, in good times and bad times, woo, all this crap. And like, but the real truth of the matter is, Jennifer Lopez was a gold digger. She married Mark Anthony, then she married Alex Rodriguez. She married rich, successful men. Now she's marrying Ben Affleck. Women will make songs like that and then just do the exact opposite. Women will say one thing and do the exact opposite. And I don't trust for a second that this woman here isn't looking to land herself a millionaire guy. I don't trust that for a second. I think what it really comes down to is that she's not being chosen by these guys because she's basic. She draws her eyelashes on. She just has this basic look about her. She's probably not very intelligent. She's just basic. I mean, I'm not saying she's stupid a bit, but I mean, like, you know, she's probably average intelligent. You know, like there's nothing about her that stands out. She's just your basic pretty girl who you pump and dump. That, you know, if a millionaire guy, you know, I'm not saying men are the same as women when it comes to hypergamy, but men want a woman to match them as well. If a guy is very intelligent or a guy is very successful, he's a lot of times going to want a woman who's going to match that. Is she as rich as me? Is she as intelligent as me? Is she as unique as me? Is she as talented as me? You'll notice that, you know, celebrities or rich people, oftentimes what they'll do is, you know, they end up marrying a woman who has some kind of capacity, some kind of talent, some kind of, you know, these basic women, and they think, oh, just because I'm pretty, therefore that's my ticket. And then they learn after however many years of trying that out and realizing, oh, I'm just getting pumped and dumped, that, oh, I need a different strategy. So that's what this is. This is a different strategy. This is, I'm going to be with you, you know, in good times and bad, right? I'm going to be with you when the sun isn't shining. And what she's really saying is that I'm going to invest in a man, and it's going to be real because I was with him when he was struggling, and then when he's successful, then everything's going to be all good. So she's taking it's a loser's approach. Both, you know, you're losing any which way, and because the whole hypergamy, it's just loser shit. Hypergamy is for losers. Exchanging love for resources is a losing proposition sooner or later. Whether it's sooner in the fact that you're just going to get pumped and dumped by high value men, or it's later in that you might land you a man and marry a man, but eventually it's not going to work, because marriage should be built on the foundation of love and a bond, which has nothing to do with money. So when women, I mean, it's only indirectly related to money insofar as, yes, you need money to survive and have food on your table and a roof over your head. That's it, though. What women are doing is they're investing in men for a lifestyle and for providership and for success, and that's a loser's game. Hypergamy is a loser's game, and really it's archaic. The only reason, I shouldn't say the only reason, but in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons it's even in female nature is because of survival, is because in history they had to choose the highest, you know, biologically fit man in order to have, you know, to further the human race. And that's an animalistic thing, and I think that we're better than that. We've risen above that. I think we always had the potential to rise above that. It's just that, you know, particularly in today's day and age, when you have porn culture and when you have some rich celebrity culture and you have, oh, it's all about greed and the American dream, which is become rich and all this crap. When you put all that materialism above foundational traditional values such as God and love and family, then you get what you get. And a lot of times this is why divorce is at 50+%. This is why the family structure is crumbling. This is why our social fabric and our social culture is corroding. This is why politics is in a state of despair, is in a state of corruption, because we lost values, we lost God, we went away from real love, which is the love in the family, the love of God, the love of knowing our creator. And now it's all about me, me, me. So what she's saying is selfish. So let's go on and break this down. This selfish talk.
Because he's not trying to win you over with any money, because he doesn't have it. He's going to win you over with effort, consistency. And
listen to what she's saying. He's going to win you over with effort and consistency. So it's all about her. And look at her face. Look at her eyes. She's just phony. She's playing a game. Oh, he's going to win you over with effort and consistency. Me, me, me. So it sounds kind of nice. What she's saying is like a mixture of like, oh yeah, I'm going to be down with you, but yet you still have to win me over with it. So it's all about me. Happy wife, happy life, which means she's put on a pedestal and he's just this groveling beta trying to win her over. And that's not love. That's not, you know what I mean? And there's so many relationships out there like that, where the guy's got to win her over with effort and consistency. So she's exchanging the money. So she's saying, oh, well, You know, you don't have to win me over with money right now as you're struggling to succeed, and I'm still going to put that burden on you later. I'm still going to, you know, this is almost like somebody taking out a bank loan or something. It's like, yes, you've got interest, you've got this kind of interest, you've got to pay us back and this and that, and it's like, but we're going to give you this money. So she's like, I'm going to lend you my pussy. I'm going to lend you my love and my intimacy. I'm going to lend you my body, my sex, and you got to pay me back with interest, with effort and consistency. And not only that, you got to be successful down the road. Not only that, the money that I've invested in you, you have to use to be successful, but you also have to pay me back with effort and interest and consistency. Pay attention to what she's saying. It's bananas.
That comes with respect. See, you only value and respect something that you had to work hard to get.
And now she's saying, oh, this is why you put in effort and consistency, because you respect me. Why? What is there to respect? But you know, everybody deserves respect in general. You shouldn't have to work for love. So what she's doing is she's like using these buzzwords and like trying to brainwash men into like, oh, it's the reason why you're putting in all this effort and consistency is because you respect me. No. I shouldn't have to put in effort and consistency. That's just something that's just, if you love somebody, you're going to be consistent with loving them. Effort, you know, that word effort really, really exposes her. Effort. So what is she saying? She's saying that she wants a little beta boy to constantly, you know, chase after her, to constantly. She's probably been cheated on in the past. A lot of women are afraid of being cheated on because they choose these high value guys who've got all kinds of options. And these guys are cheaters because they're going to exercise their options, because most men can't exercise their options. And they know this, and they remember a time in their life when they couldn't exercise their options, a time in their life when women were rejecting them. And now that women are not rejecting them and they can get any woman they want, they're exercising their options because that's just what any guy would do. You know, until you want love, and then it's a different story, but that's a whole, but guys, by that time, they figure out female nature. They figure out that women are shallow and materialistic and hypergamous and phony and fake and all these things, that you can't find a genuine girl. You can't find a girl who's really pure, who doesn't have a high body count, who's not jaded and messed up from all these, you know, relationships. So what this woman is doing is she's figured out that, like, okay, I've been cheated on because I've been chasing high value guys, so let me lower my standards to a guy who's not successful, and now I'm gonna kind of balance that out by saying he needs to be, you know, he needs to put an effort and be consistent and show me he's not going to cheat on me and all these things. And so what she's doing, she's putting all these rules, you know, rules for thee but not for me, rules on the beta guy who's chasing her, right? And what does that mean? It means she's running the relationship. It means she's the one she's the boss. She has all these restrictions on him and his behavior because she believes she's the prize. It's not him, right? So this is all kinds of messed up. She's not saying, oh, well, if you love me, I love you. It doesn't matter about money and I don't care about that. She's saying, you know, as you're going to be successful, which I know you are, because if you're not, I'm going to leave you. As you're working hard towards that, I'm going to loan you me. I'm going to loan you with all these, I'm going to loan myself to you with all these conditions that you have to meet. And if you meet them, then, you know, someday we'll get married. And this is what a lot of women are like, is like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna, why would I just marry you if you're not giving me anything? Why would I just marry you or love you if there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful, if there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to provide me the lifestyle that I want, if there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to take care of my kids? Women are not investing, and I use the word investing purposely because it's an investment. When women are investing in men, when women are looking into dating or marrying a man, they're looking at it like it's an investment. And this is female nature, man. Sorry to say, it's not. That's why I always say it's not love. It's like, this is an investment. This is a woman who's giving a speech in the same manner that a bank manager would give a speech to somebody they're giving a loan to. It's the same thing. These are my terms and conditions of this loan. I'm giving you this thing, and you have to pay me back in these kind of ways, with this kind of interest. So the interest that she wants is effort, consistency, and what is she? And there's a lot hidden in that word consistency. What she means by consistency is he always, giving me adoration? Is he always giving me attention? Is he sending me morning texts? Is he saying good morning, beautiful every day, and all this weirdo crap that these modern women are into, which is, I don't know, man. Like, if you love somebody, it should be real, and it's like you just marry somebody and you want to move in with them, but like, you're on long term. I always, the girls that I dated always try to do this. They send me morning texts, and it's just like, it's weird. It's just like, yeah, I know you're there. Like, you don't need to, like, it's just, it's controlling. It's clingy. It's this clingy thing women do, and it's like, if I love you, I'm gonna say hi to you every day. It's not like, oh, I gotta say good morning or this weirdo stuff. Anyway, that's what she's talking about when she says, you got to do effort and consistency. That's what she's talking about. Is like, you got to pay, give me attention, because they need this hit of attention. They need you to always be, pay attention to them, because they're the star. And if the star doesn't get attention, it's like these Hollywood stars. If the Hollywood star doesn't get attention, he's got to go do another movie. This is why once these guys hit like, oh, Tom Cruise is worth $800 million, 750,000, $750 million, $900 million, this star. Why do these stars keep doing movies? They've made all the money. It's because they want the attention. Think about it. They want the fame. They don't want to fall off from the spotlight. It's the spotlight. It's because they don't have self-esteem, or they don't have something within them that's like, yeah, I'm good. Why do I need to be constantly adored by my fans? Like, there's something wrong with that. Psychologically, there's a problem there. Unless you just really like doing movies, if you just really enjoy the process of making movies. But I don't think that's a motivation for a lot of these people in Hollywood. I think a lot of it, because obviously they don't need the money. I think a lot of it is that it's the attention. It's the stardom. They want to be the center of attention. They want people to always talk about them and always gawk over them, and there's Tom Cruise, or oh, there's Samuel L. Jackson, or oh, there's so and so, and woo woo woo, there's Clint Eastwood, or actually Clint Eastwood's a bad example of that, because he's a different type of actor and director. But I don't think it's all about fame that motivates him. He's actually a solid actor. But who else? Somebody like The Rock or Kevin Hart, or they want the attention. Why are they always at the forefront? Why are they working so hard when they've already made their money 10 years ago or 15, 20 years ago? Why are they still making movies? Because it's the attention. It's the relevancy. They always want to be in people's minds, because their soul is that shallow. And this is what modern women are like. They have no self-esteem because they've just went out and slept around, or they started out very materialistic, or they don't have any substance. If they had substance, they wouldn't need your attention 24/7. They'd be busy doing something else, or they'd be busy pursuing their hobbies, or pursuing their life's purpose. But women don't have life's purpose. Well, a woman's life purpose, I'm not saying all women, but most women's life purpose is just to be at the center of attention. This is why women collect beta orbiters. This, an orbiter, right? A guy who's like in the friend zone, a guy who's like, is around her, but she doesn't pay him attention. He's just there. She pays him just enough attention to where he'll follow her. This is an orbiter, right? So women have this, and what's it for? It's to give them little hits of dopamine whenever the guy says, "Oh, you're so beautiful," or "You deserve better," or like, you're so important, Stacy, or you're so great, Leslie. You're such a good person, Stephanie. You're so amazing, Tiffany. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you go on social media or whatever, these guys who just give them attention, what is that? It's like that they're the star, and this is what they want in a relationship too. But what does that mean? Break that down. It means that she is on top of, she's leading. She's on top in the relationship. It's all about her. She's the prize, and you have to be consistent. You have to give her attention, yada yada, right?
He understands the sweat, the long days, the living paycheck to paycheck, the goal setting, working overtime just to take you somewhere nice, etc.
Listen to that. It's all about her. It's all about her. Her. Me. This is solipsism. This is extremely narcissistic woman, extremely selfish woman. She's just learning the game. She's figuring things out. Okay, now I'm gonna quote unquote downgrade, and I'll bet her body count is in the triple, you know, triple digits, probably 100, 200 men. Because it's easy to hook up with a dude on Tinder, and no one will know because it's on Tinder. Nobody knows. She hooks up with hot guys probably every day, every week. A new guy, maybe. Anyway, me. Oh, he's putting in all these long hours just to take me out. Wow, what a ego, right? I'm the center of attention. He's doing all this for me. What a horrible deal for any man who gets this woman. And what does he get out of it? A pretty face, some sex. That's it. And probably a headache. That's what he gets out of it. This is why men are walking away from relationships. This is why men are walking away from marriage. Me. What does he get for working hard? He gets me. I'm the prize. Horrible.
That's where 90% of the time the guy with wealth falls short. He has no respect for you. He didn't put in any.
Think about it. What she's saying. She's saying, okay, the guy who has wealth treats me like I'm just an afterthought. He pumps me and dumps me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go find the struggling guy so that he can put me at the center. But he's still working hard. He's still going to be successful, or, eventually, or else I'll leave him. And every success he gets, he's got to take me out. He's got to dote on me. He's got to make sure that I'm the center of attention at all times, right? So what's she doing? She's becoming a liability in this guy's life. Do men want liabilities? Do men want a ball and chain? She's a ball and chain. So what does that mean? It means that all his extra time is going to be devoted to her. All his hard working, the effort, the financial gain, the money that he gets from working, it all goes into her, keeping her happy in whatever way. Whether she wants a new purse or some new shoes, or she wants him to take her on vacation, she wants her to take him to a restaurant, right? All these things, whatever it is that she wants, her. So she's going to be the center of this guy's life. And that's what she's really saying here. She's saying that, okay, the rich guys that I dated before, they don't pay attention to me like I want. They don't put me on a pedestal like I want. I'm not the center of attention like I want to be in a guy's life. I am just the afterthought. I'm just the pump and dump. I'm the Tuesday night. I'm the Thursday night hookup. That's it. I'm a booty call. That's it. I want more than that. I want to feel like I'm the queen. I want to feel like I'm the center of this guy's attention, but not in a normal loving way, in a selfish, materialistic, egotistical way. Because what's she really saying? Listen to what she's saying. She's saying, well, these other guys aren't putting me on a pedestal like I want to be. These other guys aren't taking me out like I want. These guys aren't putting, all the effort that goes into their lives isn't for me. It's for themselves. It's for something. It's so they can, pump and dump. And she's realizing, oh, okay, well, all I got to do is find the guy who doesn't have much, so that he'll. And the reason why she knows that he'll put her on a pedestal is because he doesn't have any other girls. If she's as pretty as he can get. And women are smart this way. Oh, well, if he's an incel, if he's not successful with other women, but he's working hard and I can see talent and he's attractive, but because he hasn't reached the finish line yet, all these other girls are passing him up. I'm going to slide in here and I'm going to make sure that, I lock this guy down because of his potential. And then also because, he's going to put me at the center of attention because he has no other girls. It just totally makes sense to her, right? So she thinks she's got it figured out, when in reality, a smart guy could see right through this. Oh, okay, you want, it's all about you, and a smart guy, it will come out in her behavior, in the relationship. A smart guy will be like, oh, this woman wants me to like put her, as number one in my life, and she'll probably expect that very quickly as well. And this is why a lot of women end up disappointed, is because they think a guy is just going to do this right away. No, a real guy, a genuine guy, a strong masculine guy, if he's really looking for love, he knows it doesn't happen right away. He knows it's going to take months in order to get to that point to where she's, he really feels like he's in love. And even then, I wouldn't even say I'd say that's too quick. I'd say a year at least, maybe a couple of years. I know that, I dated a woman who was pursuing me for 3 years before who she really was came out, who her real true personality came out. And she was gaslighting me. She was, what's it called? Love bombing me, where she acted all nice and woo woo woo. And you don't know. That's why I tell guys, like, you got to be with a woman for at least a year, maybe longer, before you really know who she is, before her real true personality comes out, right? Because you don't know who she really is, because people put their best foot forward. People act in all lovey and wonderful in the first few months, in the first year. Then what? Then who she is, you'll see red flags. It'll start to come out. How she really behaves, what she really thinks, how you guys really are going to behave together. And if you really find the right one, you'll know. You'll be like, we just click. I know she's being genuine. It's quality. It's good, but a lot of times red flags come out. And one of the biggest red flags is selfishness, ego, narcissism. And girls like this stay on the shelf, as they should, because guys should not. The only type of guys they can get are guys who are really lonely, guys who are really hard up for women, and she's pretty, and so she's probably attracting a lot of guys for sex. This is why women say things like, "Oh, I'm not that type of girl. I don't have sex on the first day," or "I'm not just looking for hookups," because that's all they have to offer. It's the biggest red flag when a woman says, "I'm not just here for hookups." It's the biggest red flag. It means I have nothing else to offer. It means this is why I'm single, because guys do not want to date me because I don't have any depth. I'm shallow. I'm egotistical. I'm narcissistic. All I have to offer is sex. So what I'm going to say is, I'm not just here for sex. I want something more, because I don't have anything else to offer. it just when you are in the dating game, you learn this, and you're like, oh, it just makes sense. The reason why she's single is because that's really all she has to offer. So that's why she's saying, I have more to offer, because she really doesn't have more to offer. So for her to say, I'm not looking for sex, is basically saying, I'm not just here offering my sex. I want something deeper. But if you had something deeper, then you would have already found it, because guys can tell. We can sniff out a materialistic, shallow woman who has nothing else to offer but sex. And guys don't want that, which is the irony. Women think, all guys want is sex, but the opposite is true. We want someone who has depth. We want someone who has intelligence. We want someone who has morals. We want someone who has a sense of humor. We want someone who we can laugh with, who we can talk with and have good conversations with. Somebody with her own opinions. Somebody who's not just this, like, so many women, they haven't grown. They haven't grown in intelligence. They haven't grown as a human being, because they don't need to, because all they have to offer the world is sex. And you're just like, there's nothing interesting about you. Why would I want to date somebody who there's nothing interesting about? Why would I want to marry and love somebody? I couldn't fall in love with somebody who's just a pair of tits. It's weird. It's like you need to bring something else to the table. Be intelligent, be funny, have a personality, have goals, have a life's purpose. All these things that women are looking for in a man, they don't realize that they themselves need to have those things. Women are always like, oh, I need a guy who's got a purpose and he's successful and da-da-da-da, but they themselves aren't any of those things, right? So this woman is just shallow. She's shallow, and she doesn't realize that the reason why guys only want her for sex is because that's all she has to offer. And instead of working on herself and becoming better and making herself a better human being internally and externally, she just doubles down, and now she's trying to manipulate. And this is what women do when they can't get their ways. They start to manipulate. They're always manipulating, and they're always trying to manipulate their way into a better situation. So she's trying to hack the male desire. She knows that she's watched red pill videos. She knows that men want a woman who's down with him when he's struggling. So now she's going to manipulate and say, oh, well, I'm down. But she can't even do that right. She can't even fake it right. She's still obvious. And if anybody who has any discernment could tell how obvious it is that it's still all about her. She's so egotistical that she can't even come up with a good pitch video and have a, you know, I mean, if you're going to manipulate, be a better manipulator than this. Like, she's still telling you that it's going to be all about her. She's still telling you that it's going to be, you know, you're out there to impress her.
Effort with you. He didn't have to work to build a foundation with you. He simply bought you. To him, you're just another prize on the shelf, something to pull out when he wants to play with it and throw back when he's done. That's what most...
There you go. So she's telling you, I figured the game out. She's telling you, I know that high value men are just using me. Now I want to manipulate the system and find a guy who's got all this potential, who's going to be successful someday, and I'm going to invest in him. That's all she's saying.
Wealthy men do. They buy things because they can, not because they need it.
And you notice that she said wealthy men. So what that means is that she has a history with wealthy men. She has experience with wealthy men. She's probably on a sugar daddy website. A lot of people, just because it's not on Facebook or TV, they don't realize what goes on behind the scenes with these women, these attractive women. If a woman is attractive, trust me, she's got an app for sugar daddies. She's got a hookup app. She's not only just got Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, Instagram. She's got a bunch of other stuff that we don't even know about. She's got apps that we don't even know about. The guys are giving her money and sending her money, and she doesn't have to meet these guys. Sugar daddy sites, escorting apps, where she's low key. I mean that's all Instagram and Twitter is low key. You know, escorting, because women just get on there and they post pictures of their butt and they post bikini pics and blah blah blah, and then they get guys who are in their inbox, and I guarantee when you put yourself out there that way, what are guys doing? That they are hitting you up for prostitution. They're hitting you up for escorting, and they're not doing it obviously. They're hitting you up and saying, oh, you know, can I take you out? Can I buy you this? Or some men are doing it obviously, like how much for a night? How much for you to come spend the night with me? How much, for me and you to get a hotel? I guarantee it. It happens all the time. This is what's going on in these women's inboxes, and you'd be crazy to think they're not doing it with some guys. If the guy's attractive enough and he's offering money, a woman is going to do it. Why? Because she was going to sleep with that guy anyways, because women have sex and women want sex too. So she has, I guarantee it, she's got a whole history of being with wealthy men, because she's probably been on Instagram or Twitter for 10 years. Right? And what happens when they put themselves out there like that on Instagram or Twitter, or sugar daddy websites, or this website or that website that we don't even know about, or Tinder, whatever it is, the dating apps, it goes on the dating apps as well. If you don't think that prostitution and escorting is going on these apps, you're living in you're living in a hut. You're living in a hut out in the wilderness, because that's going on, man. That is going on. It's going down. It's not just Backpage or Craigslist, although they ended that. It used to be crazy on there like 10, 15 years ago. It's not like that anymore, but it's still going on Instagram, Twitter, Tinder, hookup sites. They're getting paid. It's pay for play. These women are pay for play. So she used the word wealthy men. She knows exactly. Women know the game. Look at Brittany Renner. She knows the game. And where women went wrong is they make these type of videos because they out themselves. They tell on themselves. Brittany Renner knows the game. She told women how to use athletes, how to get pregnant, how to pick the right successful type of men to trap into a situation where they got to pay child support and alimony, or I don't think alimony is the right word, child support. Women know the game. So she knows, oh, these wealthy men, it's not working. These guys are using condoms. These guys are pulling out. These guys are whatever. It's not working for her. And also, maybe, and women want love too. I'm not going to say women don't want love. It's just that their love is conditional. So what she's saying, I don't want to be used anymore because I have this history of being with wealthy guys and they just use me. That's how I know. She's not speaking hypothetically. She's speaking from experience. She knows what she's talking about.
Hell, sometimes not even because they want it, just because they can. They're more intrigued with the fact that they can buy you instead of actually
She knows it's experience. She knows. She's speaking from experience.
being intrigued with you. To him, you come at a monetary cost, and he can buy 1,000 more of you because you come a dime a dozen. You're nothing.
She knows. She knows from experience. She knows from memory. She knows all about it. She knows.
Special. But with the struggling man, your love was bought with authenticity and
This is manipulation. She's manipulating, right? She's saying, oh, now that I've been used and pumped and dumped by all these wealthy men, now it's time for me to find the struggling man because he's going to put me on a pedestal. He's going to make me his number one. And this is, she's probably, I don't know if you say, this is her epiphany stage. She's in the epiphany stage where it's like, okay, I can't sell. She learned. She went down that road and she learned. She knows she can get the wealthy man. And now she's like, well, I want the struggling man who's going to give me this quote unquote love that I want, right? But I say quote unquote love because that's not real love, because she's still using this man. She's still manipulating this man. She's still exercising her hypergamy. Her female nature for choosing a man with success is still going on. And now she's going to manipulate. Now she's going to say, oh, now I want the struggling man.
Genuineness that was built on solid ground, and that's the beauty within the struggle. So until the next video.
The beauty within the struggle. Look at this woman. Look at this. She's evil. Look at this. She's lying. She is manipulating, and this is basically phony. This is a lie. The reason why it's a lie is because all the reasons that I said. It's deep. She's deep down. She's manipulating. She's using a man. She wants him to put her on a pedestal. She's going to be number one. She's going to be controlling the relationship. He's got to put in all the effort to win her over. She's still the prize. It's all about her. It's going to be her way or the highway. And this is why this type of woman does not deserve love. This type of woman does not deserve a real relationship, and this is why they don't get into a real relationship. She's describing failure. She's describing a way for women to fail. If women follow that, this blueprint, they're going to fail, because that's not what love is. Love is not she's the prize. Love is not she's controlling the relationship. Love is not he's putting all his effort into pleasing her. That's not what real love is. Divorce is at 50%. The proof is in the pudding. People are walking away from marriage. People are walking away from relationships. Why would any rational guy who has self-esteem, self-confidence, knows his worth, why would he invest in a woman? And I say invest his time, invest his love. Why would he put his love? I shouldn't even use the word invest for men, because men, I don't even think men don't think that way for the most part. Men don't invest in a woman. Women invest in men. Men don't invest in women. A man wants a woman to love. He wants a woman who's going to have his back. He wants a woman who's going to help him, be better in life. He doesn't want a woman who wants to be put on a pedestal. He doesn't want a woman who wants to control the relationship. He doesn't want a woman who wants all the attention. It's all about her. Any guy who is intelligent, any guy who has self-worth is going to realize that this woman is a liability. This woman is not liability is not even the right word. This woman is a death trap. This type of woman is a death trap, because you don't want to. She doesn't even probably have a decent heart. She's not even a good person. She doesn't have real love. It's all about her. It's all about her ego. You're dating an ego. You're dating a pretty woman, and that's it. That's what she has. She's got looks. She's got nice lips. She's got nice eyes. She's sexy. That's it. This is the type of woman who just should do porn, should just be an escort, because that's all she has to offer the world. It's all she has to offer any man. And on top of that, she's got this manipulative. She's got some intelligence, but her intelligence is invested into manipulating a man. Her intelligence is put into manipulating a man, and so any guy who gets with this woman is not gaining. He's not gaining a blessing. He's gaining a eventual curse, really, because any relationship built on it's all about her solipsism, her ego is not going to work out well eventually. Something's going to go wrong eventually. But anyways, guys, I think I made my point. Appreciate you listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.